What is up, guys? We are live. Um, Depending on how many people show up in here, I might call it a night. My camera tripod broke, so unfortunately, that's just adds to the way today is. Uh, it's all good though. I'll get another one. Um, Still want to talk about this issue for a few minutes. Um, at the end of the day, it's about West Virginia. It's about the Big 12 for me. And so that's kind of the view that I take on anything that happens. It's ruling anything that comes down. I always look at it through the lens of Big 12 slash West Virginia. Um, Usually West Virginia first, obviously. What's up? What's up, John Kelly? What's up, Tyler Cobb? What's up, guys? Sorry about this. My camera tripod just broke on me. So the little ring that you tighten around the ball where the the thing moves on, it broke. So it's unfortunate, but we can make do with what we got tonight. Sorry if the lighting and stuff's off. Today's my birthday. It's been a heck of a just. It's been one day. It's been a heck of a day, man. Went to go to the Tavon signing and meet with him about Tavon Austin, and meet with him about um, coming on the show, and waited on him for 2 hours after he said he would meet up with me, and he ghosted me even after saying he would meet up with me um, afterwards. I don't want to throw any shade at Tavon Austin. He's one of everybody's favorite players ever, but he could have saved me a couple hours on my birthday if he just said, "Hey, I can't do it" or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna get on here and bash Tavon or anything like that. I just the point of that is my camera tripod broke on top of that happening as well. So let's try to get into this a little bit and talk about where we're feeling things are with West Virginia Mountaineers. And I have an article from the U.S. Post I want to share with you guys um, that I think is prudent and kind of explains everything in a pretty good manner. Federal judge grants injunction in Tennessee lawsuit against the NCAA, which freezes NIL rules. A federal judge on Friday suspended NCAA rules on name, image, and likeness benefits for athletes, dealing a serious blow to the college sports governing body's enforcement powers and easing the stress of the University of Tennessee amid an NCAA investigation. It's a victory for the attorneys general in Tennessee and Virginia in their lawsuit against the NCAA, and potentially for Tennessee in its fierce fight with the NCAA over NIL and the preliminary injunction granted in the Eastern Tennessee District by I think his last name is Corker, found that NIL rules caused irreparable damages to the athletes. Let me get that off there. Sorry, John. You were in the way. All right. The decision applies while until the court case plays out, and the ruling covers the entire country, preventing the NCAA from enforcing its NIL rules against any school and giving student athletes latitude on signing deals. Without the give and take of free market, student athletes simply have no knowledge of their true NIL value, Corker wrote. It is this suspension of negotiating leverage and the consequential lack of knowledge that harms student athletes. Corker took issue with the NCAA strategy to prevent recruiting inducements, including the association's attempt to classify NIL collectives, which raise and distribute money as boosters. The NCAA's prohibition likely violates federal antitrust law and harms student athletes, Corker wrote in his ruling. Sorry, guys. The decision could have a seismic impact on college sports as the NCAA's rules banning NIL recruiting inducements are frozen for more than 523,000 athletes at 1,088 institutions. College recruits and transfers can now negotiate and sign NIL contracts before enrolling at a university with no fear of breaking NCAA rules, or at least they can until the case concludes, likely months from now. So wow. And if you're just joining the show, my camera tripod broke, and I apologize for how this looks. But at the end of the day, the sound is what matters. And what you just heard is, in my opinion, oh boy. And certainly it could have there, and we'll get into it. There could be some positives to this because some states are going to have different, um, rules with NIL and how this thing plays out. As of right now, West Virginia has none. Not that many people are knocking the door down in West Virginia to get our players, but it does help a little bit. So, and then other states may put in laws to protect their players, which could further hurt West Virginia. Um, uh, it's going to be wild, man. I um I start to wonder what would happen with a guy like Rodney Gallagher, which is a bad example because he's like one of the most giving players on our team. I think he donated his NIL money. Is something I read. But a guy like Gallagher, if we could, if he could have established that relationship and then decided to sign with us, does he ever come to West Virginia or does he just take the Penn State bag? You know, because what this is going to prevent is relationships being established with people because they're just going to grab the suit the quickest bag. And in my opinion, hurts places like West Virginia, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Baylor, places like that in the Big 12, where I just happen to think we are just a little bit underfunded, compared to some of the biggest places. Now, will we be able to get enough three-star guys to compete? Maybe we will, and I could be completely wrong. But at the end of the day, it's the Jimmies and Joes, not the X's and the O's. And in my opinion, this puts us at another disadvantage and it really does widen the gap. And I've avoided coming on here and talking about these, but this one really stuck in my craw a little bit because the players already have so much power and have already gotten so much, and now this, and I'm not sure that I'm not saying I disagree with it. It's just that at the end of the day, it puts us at a disadvantage, and that's the part that sucks about it. I want the players to get paid, but I also don't want us to be uncompetitive. And it seems like both of those things maybe aren't possible at this point in time. And um, at least I mean, I have to see evidence of that first, but it looks like to me a bit of a scary situation. So uh, appreciate that, Ray Ellison. Appreciate that, Browns and Beers. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'm 39 years old today. It's all good though. I try to put in the effort, efforting, efforting, as they like to call it. Oh man. So let me know what you guys think below about this situation. I'm curious to know. Um, do you feel like West Virginia is going to be left behind in this NIL era, where it looks like collectives may be under the gun as well a little bit here? Browns and Beers is a new member. Appreciate that, brother. Hey, welcome to the team, man. I really do appreciate that. It means a ton. Anytime I can get you guys to join. I saw, me and Coos were talking the other day. We seen some of you guys were joined up with the Big 12 Mafia, and we were like, you know, hopefully a couple of you guys come over to join us because we feel like we do good for you guys too, and try to put out content at a steady rate. Um, so we appreciate that, guys. We really do. Hey, what's up, Silas? How we doing tonight, brother? Doing good. Talking about the judges ruling in Tennessee yesterday with NIL. Is anybody in panic mode? Do you feel like? And I reached out to the COO of the Country Roads Trust, Stephen Ford, to see if he had anything he wanted to say on this matter. If there's any kind of encouragement he could give to Mountaineer Nation, just anything really. I mean, I don't know the ins and out of all this, and likely a lot of us don't either. But are you scared for Mountaineer football? Are you scared for Big 12 football? Or do you think everything's going to work itself out? I really want to know what you guys are thinking on this, um, because NIL at the end of the day is pretty much the be all end all. Yeah, you're going to land a Rodney Gallagher every now and then because you make a relationship, you build a relationship with somebody, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, man. A lot needs to be done, especially with NIL transfer portal. And if you watch the Mountaineers now, the other day, Skylar talked about how the NCAA is more worried about cookie cakes than the real problem. Yeah, and that's a great point. I guess one way you would have to probably, I don't know if this is true or not, but one thing I can think of right off the top of my head is maybe you have to make a choice between high school recruiting or transfer portal recruiting. You know, when do you get the player? Do you get him early on and lose him, uh, but you still get the player for a couple of years, or do you catch them late after they're already developed and just go that route? You know, just straight up transfer portal. I don't know. You know, I don't think I personally do think the best teams have a mixture of both. The best teams have homegrown talent that have been there, or at least young players that they've grown for like what a couple years, and then obviously they fill the gaps in with portal players. So I think that's what the best teams are. But if you're making me make a choice, to be honest, I think West Virginia especially would probably be better still as a high school recruiting type of team. I know people love the transfer portal, but unfortunately, there's no way. If there's a way that we can give them all this. You can say, hey, look, make your deals in high school, but you got to stick around for 2 or 3 years, however long the deal is. Even if it's 2 years, 2 years still helps. Uh, maybe West Virginia could start recruiting high school players again. As far as without worrying about losing them, because I mean, we can recruit anybody right now and get them, but it seems like the best of the best tend to get plucked away anymore. So uh, on the NL and I on the transfer portal side of things, it's the Northwestern players we just got the other day were big. You know, we got some Power Five players, but still, I haven't seen us in football land what I would consider like the Jesse Edwards type players or the Kerr Kriisa even type players. And maybe that's by choice, and I could be completely off in saying that they're just choosing. But it seems like I wish we were more involved with some of the top players. But at the end of the day, without knowing what we have to spend, there's no way to know if we can or not. But I would say probably not so much. Don't forget to like this video, guys. Subscribe to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football if you don't mind. And also drop a comment below, guys, after the video. If you're watching this, let me know if you're scared for the future of West Virginia football and Big 12 football. Are they going to be left behind? Do you think this new NIL injunction against the NIL rules is going to affect the Big 12 schools in West Virginia? Be curious to know what you think about that. Browns and Beers, what's up, brother? You and Coos do a fantastic job. Subscribed a while ago and just saw the member button. Will blame myself for not looking for it either. Hope you still had a good birthday despite the Tavon incident. Yeah, man. Listen, I don't blame Tavon. It's just I wish he would have just said, "Hey, I don't want to do it. Whatever, whatever Like I said, I'm 39. I'm not a little kid. But what he doesn't know is, there was a screaming kid, that was the 2-year-old kid that we drug around waiting on him, and just kind of wish it just helped our timing. Absolutely. Nick said W will get all the 5-star talent on college football 25 dynasty. We won't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I get you, Nick. I get you. Uh, I'm looking forward to that. You know, is it true they offered the guy $600 to be in the game? Is that what it was? I thought I saw that. And what's wild is the Ed O'Bannon deal. Like, isn't that the entire what this all started over with? And name, image, and likeness in the video game, not getting paid for that, and then here they come with a video game and they're offering them $600. Is that what it is? Uh, Wild, right? And some people are saying, listen, just be happy with it. I don't know if they have any kind of percentages on how the game does, but I'm assuming if they paid all the players that were going to be in the game a substantial amount, I mean, to me, it seems like your featured player should get a little more, just like anything else, you know. But maybe not. Sure, yeah, I get that because you get to be in a video game for life and all that. But my point is like the Ed O'Bannon thing and all that wasn't partially that was over. Hey, I was in that video game, you used my name, image, and likeness, and I didn't get compensated for it. And here we are, not compensating them anymore for this game. I just thought it was I just thought that was interesting, Not necessarily saying they shouldn't be happy for it or anything like that, but it's just funny to me that they complained about it all those years ago now, and they still only offer them $600 for the game. Just wild to me. So let's holler out Dutch Miller here real quick. This episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal, and that's right up front, guys, on any new or pre-loved video vehicle in stock, and that's every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing, and they're ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out their inventory. It's across the state of West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com, or you can come in person to one of their many, many stores across the state, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. And that is Chris Miller running for governor. He does not. He didn't ask me to say that, but he is the basically owner of all that. Although I think power has been transferred over to a family member while he does this thing for office. Certainly support him in his run. I don't get political very often, but man, he's been so good to me and Coos, guys. He really has. He is a really, truly awesome guy to work with, and has really met and followed through on every promise. He took a chance on, to in my opinion. I mean, I don't guess you would consider us to be small time channels, but we're definitely not Josh Pate. And we don't have sponsors throwing themselves at us all the time. And he's really done a lot for me in my life by choosing to be a part of this. So just wanted to throw that out there. A lot of us just people want the game to come back. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Even if it means some of the star-studded teammates get left out. Yeah, and I mean, I guess there's going to be some people that get left out at the end of the day, and uh, whatever that it's going to suck, because I wonder if they're going to have any old teams on there. How cool would it be to play with the hardware we have on the PS5 right now, or if you play Xbox, I'm a PS5 guy, to play with Tavon and Pat and Steve and guys like that. What level speed would they give Tavon in the game, guys? If your answer is at 98 or 99, you're probably wrong, right? The run down the sideline versus Oklahoma is probably one of the fastest I've seen a human move. So sorry for this camera angle, guys. I really feel awful that it started off like this. He said 99. It would be amazing. Should be 99. Yeah, absolutely. If I do a video on the NCAA football game, did you guys watch that? I've considered it for a couple of weeks now, and now that Garrett's on it, maybe it would be a good time to do that. Uh, Something to talk about. It's the off season. Listen, there's not much to talk on, y'all, for real. Uh, Speaking of video games, does anybody play any other video games or anything like that? The 2016 to 2018 teams would also be really good because of the offense and defense. Yeah, Nick, I think you're right, especially that you talk, Gary Jennings, David Sills, Will Greer's team would be very fun to play with, no doubt about that. Uh, Garrett Green got 99 dog factor. Tyler Cobb says absolutely. What's up, Jacob Yoho? Good to see you in here, brother. He said he does Call of Duty. I don't do Call of Duty anymore. I don't make fun of me, but my nephew got me to try out Fortnite, and even though I'm older, I actually enjoyed it and do play it from time to time. I don't play it every day. I don't play it every day at all, but I did once I realized that. Oh my God, they want me to buy a different skin every day. I was like, no way. I'm good on that. 12 years since the last NCAA football game, and yes, I play lots of games. That's what's up, John Kelly. Carl Joseph with a 99 hit power truck stick. Yeah, absolutely. What about Dan Moses? I wonder what he's getting. What he would be at center, the Remington Award winner. Or what about Chris Neal at nose tackle? Hey, look, he was one of the best three techniques I've seen, dude. He was so good down there for us in that Castile defense. I miss him. Actually, might be having him on the show. Julian Miller, who I had on probably about a month and a half ago, has uh, gotten a hold of him and asked him to come on the show. Former player series definitely didn't work out like I hoped it would, though. These players are tough to get to come on, guys. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. That's the one that went head to head with Kyler in Oklahoma, right? Tyler said Call of Duty is good. Used to play that on 360, but haven't gotten any new systems lately. Oh man, yeah, you need to level up. Dale Wolfley, yeah. How would Dale Wolfley be? 99? Absolutely. Absolutely. Pac Man would have to be a 99, like seriously. Chris Henry would be up in the 90s. Carnell Lake would be another one. Todd Sauerbrunn would be probably a 99 at punter. You look at Pat McAfee, he'd probably a 95, 98, somewhere in there at kicker and punter. John Kelly said he had a dynasty going with WVU and dominated for the most part and won the Natty multiple times. I've done that before too. 2018 Oklahoma game was the biggest screw job I ever witnessed in my life. It was a sickening game to watch. It was fun, but man, it was just like the roller coaster ride. Taven Austin 99 says Mad Dog Sports. Absolutely. Uh, Pat White. What do you think you guys see? What do you think his rating would be? Like legit. I think he'd be in the 90s for sure. Probably he would probably be like an 85 on the passing side, but like maybe like a 97 on the running side. Get him up in the 90s. The Dog said 99. They're all 99s. Okay. I always thought it was funner to win at mid majors. Group of fives led Idaho, UAB, Akron to multiple undefeated seasons. That takes some time to do, though, Browns and Beers, unless you cheat, or unless you do something to the stats. Uh, and I mean, maybe I don't know, unless you play because I play on the hardest setting usually. I've got Madden 24. I play on all Madden net there too, but the college football game, especially the one back in the day, man, you play on the hardest setting. You, you can't win with scheme. Now in today's game, you can. You can change all the conferences around to balance it out as well. I'm sure this new game is going to be a ton of new features. Yeah, it's going to do a ton of sales too. It's going to do a ton of sales. I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, the reason I was asking is because I watched the live trailer for the new Elden Ring DLC day before yesterday, and there was like 28 million people watching it with me. I was like, holy crap. That's a lot of people watching for one game. And it's broken almost all, it's been a ton of records. It is not sports related at all, but I love that game. If they make the transfer portal like real life, I feel like it would be close to impossible to build dynasty at Group 5 schools. Yeah, I doubt they'll. I mean, maybe they'll have some fun new mechanic for the portal in the game that we just don't know about, but it, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you can benefit from the portal too. So the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. Yeah, PS2 was great for NCAA football back in the day. Dynasty mode with friends, we had to use teams ranked B or less. Yep, agreed. You want to realign the conferences. You want to play the big domino. I get that, Tyler. I get that. Uh, well, guys, appreciate you guys for jumping on and talking about this subject with me. I'll have my tripod fixed hopefully for the next one. Oh, I absolutely will. Absolutely, I'll do that. When it comes out, I'll absolutely buy it. I'm a gamer, so that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I play games. I'm on that thing sometimes an hour a day. So I mean, I'm on there a lot. You know, Uncle always played on Virginia Tech and challenged him in his games. It was so fun. Yeah, it really was, man. You know, I used to play. My buddy used to pick the Vikings all the time, and his play was deep to Moss. That was the only play he ran, and it worked probably 70% of the time. It's so freaking frustrating playing against that. And you could even take a corner and just run him back there and wait, and he would still do it. And if you had it covered up, he would just run with Culpepper. Horrible. WVU, Pitt, Penn State, Virginia Tech, Louisville, Syracuse, Boston College, etc. So like a super Big East or a super ACC. Nick said he's excited about the new guys in the secondary. Would like to see us get another D line guy. Yeah, I do think though wide receiver, in my opinion, is the biggest next need in my. I just think we need one true game breaker at the spot at the position. I think Traylon Ray is going to be great. Now I say that I do think we have some guys on the roster that could really break out and be big time players for us, but they're going to have to really step up. So Matthew Swanson, what's up, brother? Glad to see you here. Super Big East, absolutely. Yes, the old Big East with Miami and all the others. Yeah, we love it. Old Joe Pa idea, Northeast Athletic Conference. Yeah, he loved that. He loved that idea, didn't he? That's hilarious, man. Old Joe Pa. He was dead 6 months after he got fired, wasn't he? Or released, or however you want to say it. He didn't last long at all. Day Day Farmer. Yeah, I think he's going to develop into that, but it's a lot to ask of him to be that from game one, Nick. That's my thing. I love Day Day. And I do think, on tape, he's definitely more talented than any of the guys we brought in last year. No offense to Rodney or Traylon. On tape, I do think Day Day's a little more explosive, and his cut ability is the best we've had in years. We finally got a guy in the high school recruiting that has that cut ability like Tavon had. Not as good as Tavon by any stretch, but he has it. Uh, that side to side, not just a straight line like Gary Jennings was. Um, we needed that, but and I'm just not a big Jaden Bray guy. I love his tape at Oklahoma State, but he looks to me like a possession. He's like another Devin Carter to me, you know. Now I hope he proves me wrong. I'm not the be all end all, and I don't know everything. But I just on tape, Bray really looks like a possession type receiver to me. So I was talking about a game breaker. Maybe he does, Nick. He said even as a freshman, I got to think he's got potential to be that guy. I even think Traylon Rowe will be that guy next year too, Tyler Cobb. Um, but in a different sense than I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the Tavon kind of game breaker where you can just toss them, a slant or even a screen, and they figure out a way to score or go 50 yards. Traylon is going to be a guy that gets downfield and makes tough catches and occasionally beats somebody deep. Um, because he's definitely not slow, but he ain't. I wouldn't consider him a burner either. Maybe he adds to his root tree and just gets disgusting. That'd be great to see. But overall, man, I just think we need somebody that's just a game breaker for us. Whether we toss them sweeps, whether we're getting them into rounds, whatever. The Marshall transfer from last year, I really he has the potential to be that, but I just don't know. Haven't heard much from him in the off season, and it's just, I mean, he's got some of the best speed I've seen on a football field, but for whatever reason, he hadn't put it together yet. Maybe this would be a year for him. It was really the first domino to fall. If the Catholic schools in the old Big East would have been more proactive, we would have kept the balance in the sport. Yep. Says struggles with separation. Bray does. Yeah, he does. That's my thing with him, too. Poor man's Kevin White for Traylon Ray. Hey, maybe Rodney will be that guy because of athleticism and ball skills and give him the ball and go. Yeah, but Rodney's got to come so far in the route running. Not saying he can't do it, but he's like almost negative on the route running. That's how far he had to go. He never had to do it in high school ever. He's literally learning it. He's been doing it for a year now. So we'll see where he's at with it. I'll be honest, I'm not high on Rodney. I think Hudson Clement looks more impressed than him. Yeah, but it's not fair to compare because Hudson played similar. Now he did play quarterback in high school some, but Hudson has had time to develop at the position just a little bit more than Rodney. What was Hudson, a redshirt last year, or I think it was so, or maybe a sophomore. I can't even remember off the top of my head, guys. But I think he was a redshirt freshman. Uh, I think you got to give Rodney time to develop because he's literally never really had to run a route. So, but it wasn't the first year I was hoping he was going to have. I will say that. Yeah, he just has to work on the routes. Wade got to give him the ball. Big RG3 fan. Can't wait to see him this fall. Okay. Well, I love him too. Especially, I wouldn't mind seeing him get on the basketball court. But at the end of the day, I think he's focused. He's decided he's going to focus on basketball or football now. So it is what it is. There. Appreciate you guys for stopping by, man. You guys are awesome. It's been a pretty good birthday overall. So I thank you guys as always. And stick around. I'll do something tomorrow. I'll figure out something to talk about. Maybe that college football thing we'll talk about it tomorrow or something. But other than that, I think I'm done for the night. I'm gonna hit the hay and get some sleep, guys. I appreciate y'all. Uh, keep on coming back. It works if you work it. I'll talk to y'all next time. This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This episode is over. I'm out.